stubbornly holding to the ideology, they may continue to diminish. There are those who are no longer holding to their ideology, but they have also learned the criminality associated with it, which they also practice in other contexts. So it probably takes about a decade, even when you have effectively degraded them militarily, and you put in place social and economic responses to ensure that people don't get recruited as much as the insurgents who have wanted. This is a very complex situation. So that is the normal trend of insurgency, where you degrade them militarily, or even while you are doing that, you must have socio-economic policies that indeed is making it difficult for people to be attracted to those kind of way of thinking. In our particular problems, recruitment is possible because there are so many fault lines. And that is again what affects the military. Because whatever you do, Nigerians is not going to ask, why did you do it? Who did it? Where is he from? What does he believe? Not why did he do it? For what purpose? What is supposed to... We actually go back the other way. Who did it? Where does he come from? What will be his intention? So military also suffer from these divisions within the society. So my comment at this time to say is that let us not deceive ourselves. We have a lot of work to do, given the level of insurgency, criminality that is on. We need to go back, not as a piecemeal response, not Python dance, all those ones, they are helpful, but we must understand that these are just piecemeal approach. We really need a national security platform, well articulated, which include how do you prevent the reoccurrence or new cases? How do you use economic, social policy to ensure that this is reduced? And it's a complex situation, but it's something we need to do. Otherwise, we'll just be going through the cycle, if we are just trying to use the military option. And unfortunately, the military or the armed forces that will be the victim. I don't know again a country in which you have insurgency, in which there is no likelihood of the forces, security forces, being accused of high-handedness. You remember even Britain. If you go to US, during the civil rights movement, if you watch some of those films of Alabama, Mississippi, so once we're dealing with an internal insurgency, it's very, very difficult that indeed the expectation will be, in many ways not meet the standard required. And outsiders will probably look at it. I have been in a difficult zone. And when people say there is an excess, in the same moment, there are people who are saying not enough is done. I believe in just have seen series of it. Where we say, where are these soldiers? Where are these policemen? Why didn't they do this? Where didn't they do this? On the other hand, people are saying they are doing too much in our community. So it's a difficult way to balance the multiple pressure, multiple demand that citizens in different situations in the same environment are actually making on the security forces.
Tough one, Prof. And even as you mentioned the question of criminality, the other aspect of this, I'm reminded of, quite recently of another aspect of it, which is scaremongering as well, when people move into a community and spread false rumors about an impending attack just to get the people to move, leave their homes, and then they move in and clear off their goods. And these are also issues that the military is forced to cope with. Right.
You're very right. Quite a huge challenge, very complex indeed. Where we find ourselves now, talking about the military, is such that everybody more or less look up to the military to bring peace, to bring normalcy to bear. But what a good number of the citizens have also forgotten is that in matters like this, it's actually a whole of government approach that is best suited for it. And that's the reason why at some point, every opportunity that we have, we try to educate the rest of society as to what part they need to play and why they must give due support to the military, and to also let them know that we are in this together. It's not just the military that should be seen to be doing something. You have a part to play. Organizations, including civil societies, have a part to play. But of course, you know that's a tough challenge. But whether it's a tough challenge does not imply that it's insurmountable. And that's the reason why perhaps I could also add my voice through this platform to tell the rest of the society that there is something that they can do by way of contributing to ensuring that not only is the war against insurgency and terrorism in the Northeast is effective, but also that other parts of the country wherein military operations are going on, you have a part to play, and that part is what is required to be able to make impact.
Right. Well, as we go on with this discussion, most probably in the second segment of this, we'll be looking at what the citizens have to contribute to the efforts of the military, the support of the civil populace, we'll look at that, and we will also consider the professionalism of the military, the training, and other actions which all have bearing on the military and the state of security in the nation. But that will come in the second segment of this discussion. You're still on to NTA Tuesday Live. We'll take a break here. When we return, we'll look at other options. Stay with us.
Nigerians, our fearless officers and men of the Nigerian military are winning the war against Boko Haram. Today, all occupied territories have been recovered and Boko Haram has been degraded. Our affected brothers and sisters are getting their lives back. However, they are now after you and me. In our mosques, churches, schools, motor parks, markets, entertainment centers, and public gatherings. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me. Nigeria, unite against terrorism.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
Nigeria, the only country we can train with remarkable potentials to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values, which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. Be punctual always. No more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, great nation.
Make you report any crooked person, object or wakajube movement to police and security agent demo.
The security of our nation now work for all of us, plus including me and you.
Nigeria, make we unite against terrorism. Now, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture bring on this message.